Welcome to the Impact Exchange, where real estate, leadership, and real estate financing meet with a little personality. I'm Jordan Thorpe.
And I'm Ronnie Esparza.
Every episode, we break down the moves, the money, and the mindset that help you navigate today's market with clarity and confidence.
All in a way that actually makes sense. So let's get into it.
Hello. Welcome back to the Impact Exchange.
What's happening?
Ronnie, how you doing today?
I'm good. I'm excited to talk about what we're going to talk about today.
Well, what are we talking about?
Well, we're going to be talking about the 10 Commandments.
The 10 Commandments.
Yeah. Not biblical.
10 Commandments of real estate.
10
Commandments
of lending. What not to do. These things can get you in a heap of trouble if you're in the loan process. So say, for example, you've already been approved and you've been pre-qualified.
Yeah. Let's say I send you a client.
Mm-hmm.
They submit everything. You have the conversation. They do the application, send you all the forms. What happens next?
So I go ahead and calculate income. We verify assets, verify employment, send it to the underwriter. Underwriter blesses it, and we're good to go. Now we're approved. Now
we're getting real biblical over here. First we got the 10 Commandments. Now we're getting blessings.
Yeah. So what happens now that we have the underwritten approval, say we go and we get the an offer accepted, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things, the first one is don't open new credit. And we talked about that a little bit in the last episode where, you don't want to go open credit. If you want to go buy, new appliances or furniture or anything like that, just wait until you have the keys, because that can really hurt your loan. Now, you can lose your home if your debt ratios are, you're barely approved, and then you go and you get another payment.
Mm-hmm.
That just throws you over, and then you lose your casita.
The one you're going to buy, not the one you're already in.
Yeah, the one that you're going to buy. So you don't want to do that. Now, on the flip side, yes, you can go and get something smaller or whatever. It's happened before, but what happens is then at that point, we have to verify that you didn't get any credit, or you did get credit. Now we need a new statement showing what the balance is. Let's say it's a $25 payment. You're still approved. We got to send it back to the underwriter. So it does create more paperwork. So just don't do it, especially to you shoppers that like to purchase stuff and they if you get this credit card, we'll give you 30% off. Don't do it. Okay. Don't do it.
Don't fall for it.
Yeah. Don't fall for it. Number 2, don't quit or change your jobs. Now, if you change your jobs to something that's paying more, no problem. I can use the offer letter to the new job, and it's fine.
Right.
Where we run into a problem is if you are going from making tons of money in commission and bonus, and then you go into another job that gets tons of overtime, but no commission, no bonus. Well, you have to be receiving that overtime for 2 years. Okay. It can get a little confusing at times, but if you're moving job to job, if it's the same line, the same field, it's fine. You're getting paid more. Awesome. But you kind of want to be doing the same thing that you're doing now and getting paid for it just a little bit more. So
staying in the same line of work.
Staying in the same line of work, really, yes. That's definitely, you definitely want to do that. But it ask your loan officer. Let them know what you plan on doing. I've had clients where we've changed. We had a client
Yeah.
that went from one job to another job. Well, here's the other thing too. If you go from one job to another job, you're making more money, but with the other job, you were getting a lower interest rate because you were in the lower income bracket where you can get a better interest rate. Now you're in a higher bracket. Now you're getting a higher interest rate.
Right.
Remember that happened to us.
Yeah.
So just just let your lender know what your plans are in the future. Let your lender know what you're planning on doing with your job. So,
but shout out to those clients because they told us before we even got into
and we already knew what we were going to do. Yeah, we already knew what we were going to do. We already knew what we expect. What to expect. So we're very. There were such awesome clients, man. I'll tell you.
Yeah, slam dunk.
Okay, so switching employers, going to commission, or becoming self-employed mid-process can be a red flag for our underwriter. Number 3, don't make large unexplained deposits. Cash. I have clients where
mattress
I've had
money.
I've had a couple where they say, yeah, I lent my sister, $5,000. Oh, but don't worry, they paid it back. Okay. Do you have a copy of the check? Copy of the money order? No, they paid me back cash. There's no contract. There's no, just don't do it. Exactly. Just don't do it. Big, large deposits of cash. We're going to be, if you have tons of money, say closing funds are 50 grand plus your down payment and everything. It says just $50,000 for easy numbers. But you have $100,000 in the bank and you lend out $10,000 and they deposit $10,000 back into the bank. That's fine. We're not going to count the $10,000 anymore, but you still have enough money. Right. But again, more paperwork. Right. So we just want to avoid those things. Don't miss any payments. That's another one.
Yeah.
That's another one. So if you don't miss your car payments, don't miss credit cards, don't do anything like that, especially if we are paying credit cards to qualify you. Continue making the payments. Okay. Again, continue making the payments even if we're paying off the credit card debt as part of closing costs. You still have to continue making the payments because if you don't, guess what? You may get a bad credit score. Not good. Not good. Another thing, don't go off and co-sign for anybody. Okay? That's happened before also.
Yeah. And I think that one's so easy to fall into because it seems that it's not a full understanding that liability is now yours too. It's even though they might have the physical good, you are legally responsible for that liability if they default.
Correct. And if you have someone that you've co-signed before and you let me know that you've co-signed for someone and it's been longer than 12 months, all I need is 12 months cancel check that the other person's been making the payments out of their account and proof that they're also on the contract. And then we can eliminate that liability. However, if you go and you co-sign for somebody that it's buying a car, payment's $500, and I'm not making the payments, they are, well, they have to have been making the payments for at least 12 months. So guess what? That debt will be included in your debt ratio for the next 12 months. So just don't do it. Wait until you get your house. Number 6, don't move money between accounts without asking. Now, that can be a hit and miss. Really no big thing. I mean, if you're gonna move, if say you have, your stock account, you need to move your stocks into your checking account for the down payment, that's fine, right? But just let us know that way, because we're going to require paper trail.
Right.
Everything, we have to be able to trace it through paper.
Document.
Exactly. Document. So you definitely want to make sure that if you're going to move money from somewhere, that you are letting us know. That way we expect it and we know what document to ask for. So moving money. And then again, this one kind of falls in line with the other one. Don't buy big ticket items.
Especially
boats,
if that money's coming from your closing costs.
Yeah. Don't buy big ticket items. Don't go out and buy a boat.
Yeah.
Wait until you get your house. And then that way you can park your boat at your new house. I like this one. Don't ignore lender requests. Because when we talked about it in episode 7, right? Where, episode 8, where we talk about the loan contingencies. If you're not providing what I need, the loan's really not completely done.
Right.
So just because the loan is approved doesn't mean that the loan is done. So you want to make sure that if your lender is requiring documentation or, financials or anything like that, or just make sure that you're calling them back, sending them what they need, anything like that. I don't have a problem, because if I can't get a hold of my clients, Jordan will. So I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Number 9, don't assume approved means finished. Just like I said before, don't assume just because the loan has been approved, the loan is good to go, because things pop up. We've been talking about them in these, in this episode, last episode, things that pop up. So you do want to make sure to
get to the finish line.
Before. I mean, I've actually had to unfund a couple of deals. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that the loan is not closed until you have the keys and you're moving in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. And then number 10, and this is I'm going to touch on this for a little bit longer.
We're going to hit
other ones. This
we're going to hit a hot topic.
This is kind of like, this probably should have been a pet peeve too. Don't listen to advice from non-professionals. Do not listen to your tia, your tío, your comadre, your compadre, your best friend. Don't. Okay?
It's very easy to get just dragged down into everyone else's opinions and their scarcity and the negativity. If this is something that you're wanting to do, this is your decision. Now, of course, there's always comfort in, your parents giving you their blessing, or whoever that person is for you. So how do you balance that?
And, it's exciting too, right? You want to share your news with everybody and stuff like that. But then you've got a lot of people that, let's just call it how it is. You've got haters out there.
Right.
Right. And they go, oh no, this and this and that and this and that. There's times where, you'll talk to an uncle that bought a house 30 years ago, right? And they got back then it was a SHADAP loan instead of a CalHalfa loan. Back then you were able to do 100% financing. You'd actually, if there was any money left over, you'd actually get money back.
Right.
So now you can't do any of that.
Right.
Interest rates were lower a few years back. So, you talk to someone, well, I got a 2%. Yeah, that was during COVID. Right. So if you have any questions, just kind of, take it, write whatever they're saying down, and call your lender, call your agent, talk to them about what they're talking to you about.
Right.
TikTok influencers, people
but I think
that are not licensed.
Yeah. And I think that's what makes us such a solid team in working together too is we're not afraid to sit down with everyone who's giving you these opinions, whether it's from this side, this side, this side, this side. Let's all sit down and get you on the same page, because everyone wants the clarity.
Right.
But sometimes when you have all of the different answers, the clarity gets lost and you become, it's almost like you're drowning in opinions versus walking the path with facts.
Exactly. And then, you've got you've got the bad apples out there, just like every industry has, right? You've got the bad apples out there. We went through a time, 2004 to 2010 when there was a whole lot of fraud going on and people being taken advantage of. So I get it. But, like you said, we don't have a problem sitting down with you and giving you bad news if we have to.
Right.
But if we have bad news, we're also coming with the solution.
Right.
Right. So don't listen to TikTok influencers. Don't listen to anybody that is not licensed. And I am talking to realtors that are not licensed, that are talking about loan products or interest rates and everything like that. And I am also talking about loan officers that are talking about real estate that have nothing to do with real estate.
We're not holding back today, huh?
No.
What'd you have for breakfast?
Oatmeal. So, don't listen to any of those. If just don't listen to them. Call your realtor. Call your lender. If you want a second opinion, fine, no problem. But go to another professional. Go to another licensed professional.
Right.
Okay, because you're going to get advice, from aunts and uncles and everything like that. That is just not going to, it's coworkers, especially at coworkers, or especially at work. Coworkers too. What'd you get?
Oh, well, I got this.
Yeah, what did you get?
Yeah.
And they're not going to tell you the truth.
Right.
They're not going to tell you that they got a 6%. They're going to tell, I got a 4%. Why?
Or if they did get a 4%, how many points did they have to pay? They're not going to tell you that.
They're not going to say that. So it's, it's, just don't talk to anybody else. Just talk to your professional loan officer and your real estate agent. If you want a second opinion, go to another licensed professional that can answer your questions.
And that's, it brings up a very good point. And that's, you really have to stay objective. And I think for us, as the people who are really helping them along this new journey that they're going through, we have to, a part of our job is really holding on to their emotions and letting them just really unload on us and take that and say, okay, I hear you. I understand. Here's how it relates to your transaction, and keeping it objective and always steering them, not steering, always guiding them back to the path to home ownership, which is why they came to us in the first place.
Right. Exactly. So I think, going through this loan process and purchasing a home and everything like that, you have to make decisions based on logic and facts and not emotion. Because, emotions can run wild. Right. So you definitely want to make sure that you're making decisions, logically and with facts versus emotionally, because, your aunt, your uncle, or the family member told you otherwise, you know what I mean? And now you're mad because you're not getting the 2% that they got, you know what I mean?
We actually had a client, and this is a perfect example of keeping your emotions really in between certain parameters and using logic. They wanted to purchase in a specific location, and the neighbor, there was some stuff going on with the neighbor. It was an attached home, and we couldn't get in contact with the neighbor for them to do any sort of cleanup or anything like that. We were being told certain information from someone with the transaction that just factually was not true. So they ended up making the decision, hey, you know what? What if this happens and we can't get a hold of them? You have an attached wall. If there's plumbing in between those two walls and there's a leak on their side that's coming into your side and you can't get a hold of your neighbor, what happens then?
Right.
So that, kudos to those clients that had that forethought to really think through this transaction and walk away completely, unattached to this home, even though they really liked this location.
Yeah. It was a beautiful little house too.
Yeah.
I remember. Well,
so
those
are
the 10 Commandments, and I think there can be others added, but
let's call them Ronnie's 10 Commandments.
Ronnie's 10 Commandments of things not to do when you're in the loan process. So don't open new credit, don't quit or change your jobs, don't make large unexplained deposits, don't miss any payments, don't co-sign for anyone, don't move money between accounts without asking, don't buy big ticket items, don't ignore your lender request, and most importantly, don't assume approved means finished, and don't listen to advice from non-professionals, especially TikTokers.
Anyone could get on camera and say something.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that could be a whole nother episode too. So, but yeah.
All right. Well,
you
that's
guys,
all you got for us.
That's all I got for today.
Make sure you give us a like, go subscribe, follow us on our social media channels that we'll link below and have on the next slide here. And we'll see you next time.
Talk to you later.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.